this is a video about drama. Well, that's not quite true. I bet a lot of people are expecting me to do an opinion piece on the latest piece of YouTube drama and controversy. You know, blowjobs and that. But here's the thing, I don't want to. I don't want my channel to be about what other people are doing. I also don't want to get into the very tricky position of moralizing one way or another. This is the internet. There is almost no way that things cannot be taken out of context. I'm sure they built that feature in on purpose. So after saying all that, I'm going to make a complete hypocrite of myself. Just like normal then. Instead of focusing on the details of this particular storm in a teacup, I'm going to focus on why I have no time for localized weather patterns in crockery in principle. I've had this idea for a long while. The more one is principled, the more you make yourself open to hypocrisy. Put in plain English, while not trying to sound smart, that means the more firmly you hold the belief, the more contradictory that belief becomes. I'll make this relevant at the end, you'll see. This idea leads into another, that all of us, and I mean all of us, will at some point either say or do something that makes an earlier action or statement false. Hypocrisy is unavoidable, even in the smallest ways. It's this perspective that makes me have no time for drama. Here in England we have a parliament that is televised. Not that anyone watches. Most people are more interested in voting on the X Factor than in a general election. I don't blame them. Who would honestly like to watch two, technically three, criminal gangs engaging in the kind of smug shouting matches and needless public school point scoring that is enough to make me vomit with rage? That's right, fucking nobody. Anyway, my point is this. In all walks of life you see people do or say things in the public sphere that are questionable. I bet you can guess who I'm talking about there. Let's call him Mr. Average for the moment. Yes, Mr. Average does something that's not the most popular thing ever expressed. That's bad enough, but ignorable. What's worse for me is the reaction. People as bad, if not worse than Mr. Average, come rapidly out of the shadows and declare their moral disapproval. Let's call them Mr. Lightning. Yes, Mr. Lightning says how outrageous it all is, making all kinds of wild, uninformed moral judgments. Those would be fine if they were, in fact, because he was morally outraged. But he's not. He just wants to take Mr. Average's place. In short, both Mr. Average and Mr. Lightning are probably as bad as each other. You see why I have no time for this shit? I'm so sick of intellectually and morally bankrupt people faking outrage at each other's expense for some kind of point scoring. The truth is they are, no sorry, we all are hypocrites. Every single person in their own individual way. It's incredibly pompous to think that you can take the high moral ground. The truth is, you probably can't. That's why I can't stand drama. It's pointless and gives ammunition to those who have so little to do in their lives that they've elected themselves the internet's morality police. Grow up. Like 90% of it's porn anyway. If you haven't grasped it by now, the internet isn't a very moral place. It's what I like to call Daily Mailism. It can fuck off for all I care. I'd much rather be spending my time moralizing on the internet saying how outraged I am at everyone's hypocritical behaviour. Wait a minute.